Welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I'm Nina.
Today we're looking at part 2 of the Bulau Bulau Aboriginal Village.
Yes.
So we're learning about how visitors can go to the Bulau Bulau Village and spend one day with the tribe to experience their life.
Yeah, I think that's so cool. And also in Taiwan, the different Aboriginal villages and tribes, they have such different things to experience, because they have their own language, their own culture, their own clothing, and things that they're known for.
Yeah, I really think that the clothing is so interesting, how different it is from each tribe to another.
Exactly.
And I think that they each have their own, unique cultural aspects, like their dancing or their clothing, and then they each have their own language.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something very cool to experience for sure. And I noticed with Aborigines, they tend to be very proud of their culture too, right? They like introducing it to other people, and they're very expressive about it, and they tend to be quite good dancers and singers too. I don't know if you noticed.
I guess, yeah, if you grow up in a culture that really values singing a lot, you tend to get a lot of great singers, and that's maybe why I think in Taiwan there are a lot of famous Aboriginal singers.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right, so let's learn more about the Bulau Bulau Aboriginal Village right now.
Then the Bulau Bulau guides show how they live. They grow lots of things, but they're famous for their mushrooms and millet. They make the latter one into wine.
Welcome back. Let's continue learning about the Bulau Bulau Aboriginal Village.
All right, so continuing with the article. Then the Bulau Bulau guides show how they live, okay? So they will show how the Bulau Bulau people live in their tribe.
They grow lots of things, but they're famous for their mushrooms and millet.
Okay, so I guess each village and each tribe could have their own dish or thing that they're famous for growing, right?
Specialty maybe.
Yeah.
So it says they grow lots of things. So to grow is a verb, and it means to get bigger. So if I grow, I'd say I get taller.
Yes.
But when we talk about grow something, so for example, they said they grow lots of things.
Yeah.
Means that they are helping a plant to get bigger and to produce it usually for food, or you could grow a flower just for a pretty flower.
Yeah.
So you can grow many things that you can eat on a farm. They will grow lots of food for people to eat.
Yeah, so and in this case, they're famous for their mushroom and millet, right? And mushroom is basically a fungus with a round top and a short stem, right? So some of them you can eat and some of them you can't because they have poison.
Yeah, some you should be careful not to eat.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of mushrooms, so I just avoid it all.
Okay. Well, another thing they grow is millet. Now, millet is a small grain from a grass, and millet is a grain that usually can be grown in places where the dirt is not very good. So it's an easier grain to grow, and it makes a small grain that you can eat or make into other things.
Okay, so continuing, they make the latter one into wine. Okay, so they make the millet into wine, right? So latter is the second of the two things or people or whichever, right? So we mentioned mushroom and millet, and the latter one would be millet.
Okay.
Or for example, I could ask you, which one do you prefer, beef or chicken? And you could say,
I prefer the latter.
Exactly.
So we mentioned that millet can be made into wine.
Yes.
So a wine is an alcoholic drink, and it's made from fermenting fruit or other grains. So This kind of wine is called millet wine, and you may have heard of it as 小米酒.
Oh, okay.
So that is what this tribe is famous for. So you can get some good mushrooms and some millet.
Have you tried it before? Millet wine?
I have tried some millet wine. It's quite sweet, and I think it's interesting drink.
Okay.
I've also had another dish which was at my friend's village, and it was millet with meat and wrapped in a leaf.
Oh.
And you can eat it. It's very good.
That sounds really cool. Maybe I should try it too.
That's right. So maybe we'll learn more about what makes this Aboriginal village so interesting after the break.
All right, see you guys after the break.
The villagers also raise chickens and weave baskets and other items. After the tour, visitors sit down for a big lunch. All the food comes from the village and the environment. During lunch, the villagers treat the visitors to traditional songs and dances. What's more, they invite everyone to take part. It's a great time for all at Bulau Bulau.
Welcome back. We've just learned that when you visit the Bulau Bulau tribe and learn about their local life and lifestyle, you can learn that they grow many things, including mushrooms and millet. And actually, they make a wine from the millet.
Yeah, that is super cool. And if you go there, you can maybe learn how to do those things, right? Right, so let's continue with what else you can do while you're there. The villagers also raise chickens and weave baskets and other items.
Okay, so they raise chickens. So this word to raise an animal is similar to what we discussed in the first part, meaning to grow a vegetable. You can raise an animal. So to raise something means to have it grow from small to full size. To raise, so if you raise chickens, you're having chickens be, hatched from the egg and then letting them grow into an adult chicken.
Yes, you can raise animals and you can raise children, right?
Oh, yes, of course. You can also raise people.
Yes.
Not for food.
Definitely not. All right, so you can weave baskets. And in this case, weave is to make either cloth or something by repeatedly putting over threads over each other so that it becomes, into this case, a basket, right?
Okay.
So you put over and over and over.
Over and over and over. Okay, so a basket is a container, possibly for carrying things, that is made from weaving things together.
Exactly.
So that's one characteristic of a basket, is that it is woven, so it has interconnecting threads or cane together to make a basket. And we also use this, for example, if you're shopping at the supermarket. That one's not exactly woven, but we still call it a basket because it looks like a basket in that it's not closed off, it has holes in the sides.
Yes, that's true. Those ones are plastic, right?
Yes, a plastic shopping basket. After the tour, visitors sit down for a big lunch. All the food comes from the village and the environment.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they sit down and have a big lunch, and everything to make that lunch they got from around them, right? From their environment. The environment is the air, water, and land in which, the people live in, right? So maybe they get their own pork by hunting a pig, they get their water, and they grow their own mushrooms and millet.
So they're getting everything from the area that is around them.
Exactly.
Okay. During lunch, the villagers treat the visitors to traditional songs and dances.
Wow, that sounds like so much fun.
Good experience. So these are traditional songs and dances. Traditional is an adjective, and it means something done in a way that has been done for a very long time. So traditional food would be food that's been eaten or made that way for a long time. And in this example of traditional songs and dances, they've been doing these same dances and singing these same songs for a very long time.
Yeah, so for example, you can even say like, oh, what's a traditional Taiwanese food, right? What is?
Traditional Taiwan, I want to say beef noodle.
Beef noodle soup? I think that's a traditional Taiwanese cuisine, right? Okay, so continuing. What's more, they invite everyone to take part. So everyone is invited, right? It's a great time for all at Bulau Bulau.
Okay, so everyone is invited to take part. That means to join in and
Be a part of.
Be a part of it. So that sounds like an exciting experience. Do you think you'd want to go to Bulau Bulau?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great to experience different cultures and experience different foods, and I would love to try it.
Yeah, I think it sounds like something that maybe everyone can experience, and you can learn a lot about another culture within this same country.
I think it's time for all of us to go check it out. We'll see you next time.
See you.
Bye.
Then the Bulau Bulau guides show how they live. They grow lots of things, but they're famous for their mushrooms and millet. They make the latter one into wine. The villagers also raise chickens and weave baskets and other items. After the tour, visitors sit down for a big lunch. All the food comes from the village and the environment. During lunch, the villagers treat the visitors to traditional songs and dances. What's more, they invite everyone to take part. It's a great time for all at Bulau Bulau.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 grow 动词种植，它的三态是 grow, grew, grown。My grandfather grows coffee in Brazil. 我爷爷在巴西种咖啡。下一个单字 ladder 形容词后者的。John and Tom are both soccer players. The latter one is my brother. John 跟 Tom 都是足球员，后者是我的哥哥。下一个单字 basket 名词篮子，我们可以用 a basket of something 加上物品，表示一篮的什么东西。There is a basket of fruit on the table. 桌上有一篮水果。下一个单字 environment 名词自然环境或者是环境。We have to protect the environment from pollution. 我们必须保护自然环境，使其免于污染。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 A is famous for B. A 以 B 而闻名。Famous 是形容词，意思是著名的、知名的。这里要注意，它后面所接的介系词是 for。我们来看看这个例句。This restaurant is famous for its special desserts. 这间餐厅以其特别的甜点而闻名。下一个文法 make A into B， 把 A 制成变成 B。我们来看看这个例句。My mom made the leftover meat into a pie. 我妈把剩下来的肉做成一个派。Leftover 就是剩菜、剩饭。最后一个文法 A treats B to C。A 用 C 招待 B。Treat 是一个动词，表示招待、款待。这个单字当名词使用时，表示点心。我们来看看这个例句。Our teacher treated us to some candy. 我们的老师招待我们吃糖果。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hello everyone, I'm Matt.
I'm Winnie. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Kiki.
Today we're going to play a game called Undercover. We each have cards with words on them, and one of us has a different word from the other three, and that person is the spy. After 2 rounds of giving hints about the words on our cards, we're going to guess who we think is the person who is undercover. Okay, so let's start with our hints.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my hint. A lot of people like to eat this.
If someone calls you this, it means you might be scared of a lot of things.
You can typically find this at a farm.
This tastes good in a sandwich.
A lot of people eat this with different sauces.
This is the name of a game.
This is a very main protein source at McDonald's.
This is a bird. Okay. Okay, so on the count of 3, we're all gonna point to who we think is the spy. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Oh, so 2 think it's me.
And
Okay.
2 think it's me. So let's reveal our cards. So what did you have?
I have chicken.
I have chicken.
Okay.
I have chicken.
And I have turkey.
Oh!
Yeah, so see, because I was guessing last, I knew that I was the spy because there is not you don't call someone, well, I guess you can call someone a turkey, but chicken's more common to call a person who's being
Scared of
scared of
Yeah.
something. So
I forget what turkey means when you call someone that. But
I think you dodge a lot of things, right?
Is that how you do? How would you use it if you called somebody a turkey?
I'm not really sure.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I was more familiar with the calling someone a chicken.
So I that's how I knew that I was probably not the spy, because I know the term chicken is to call someone scared. So I was like, okay, I know that I'm also a chicken. And you said sauces. Typically, you would have a lot of sauces with chicken, like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and usually if you have turkey, you would most likely only have it with gravy,
Or cranberry sauce,
cranberry
but-
sauce, but not.
You wouldn't really call gravy sauce, right? You would just call it gravy or cranberry sauce.
right. I thought I was thrown off when you said this is. You talked about McDonald's
McDonald's
because I think
proteins
are
because
beef.
I think of beef.
Because I didn't want people to think that maybe I was the spy without thinking, okay, is it beef or chicken? But I wanted to play it safe that way.
Yeah,
was
and
good.
I wanted to say that I'm a bird, but just in case you
Yeah.
guys weren't birds, I was gonna say that I'm a bird that doesn't fly.
Good, yeah.